Let's begin with an uneventful night. Sorry to say, just got to keep it real. Uneventful night in the NBA last night. I mean, 2 blowouts. It happens. Sometimes you're going to get that. And hopefully tonight's Knicks-Pacers game is a little bit better. Oklahoma City defeats Dallas. Game wasn't close. 117-95 last night. OKC was up throughout. In fact, they were up pretty big at halftime as well. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, 29 points, 9 rebounds, 9 assists. Just not a great night for Luka. Didn't even get 20 points last night. Of course, OKC covers the number of 3.5. The total was 218 in this one. And Dallas is probably going to have to look a lot better in game 2 than they looked in game 1. My gosh, what happened last night in Oklahoma City? Well, that was asked of course, point guard Kyrie Irving, and exactly what it's like trying to defend SGA.
I mean, again, I'm going to show my respect to Shai first. And he's a great player. But tonight, in the first half, there wasn't really a rhythm for a lot of players out there. It was a lot of slow down, watch free throws be taken. And adjust to the way the game was being called. It felt like the game was being called like a regular season game tonight. That's just my perspective. I don't speak for anybody else. I don't want to get anybody else in trouble. That's just my perspective. I think that it was ref like a regular season game because we come off a very physical series against the LA Clippers, and then we have some of these fouls that are called, and some of them may be fouls, right, or a majority of them. But I think when you're out there as a competitor and you just want the flow of the game to feel like the playoffs and the physicality is up there, it just feels a lot better. But again, it's all about adjustments. It's really just about continuing to stay positive through some of the runs that they make and also being mature about who we're going against. They're a good team. They've shown it all year. They have a starting 5 that has a plus-minus through the roof. One of the top defenses. So, again, we're going to give them credit, but we got to come in game 2 ready and prepared.
Dallas obviously has to look a lot better in game 2 against Oklahoma City as they have the night off tonight. Well, the Cleveland Cavaliers needed 7 games to defeat the Orlando Magic, and boy, that is what showed last night. Tired team as the Boston Celtics basically ran them out on offense. They scored 120 points last night on Cleveland. The final 120-95, an easy cover. The line even crept up to 12.5 over on the FanDuel Sportsbook, but there was no stopping Jaylen Brown. One of the big surprises over the last couple of weeks of the playoffs has been Derek White. He had another 25 points yesterday. Jason Tatum with a double-double. 18 points, 11 rebounds, 5 assists. But yes, it was Jaylen Brown taking over the game many times throughout to get to that 120-point mark. Joe Mazzulla talked about how he is evolved as a star player in the league.
He takes a ton of pride in just growing as a player every year, every game, every day. Spends a lot of time on it. He's not afraid to go after something that he knows he can improve on, which I think is huge for his growth mindset. And like you said, he has involved his ability to pick and choose his spots, when to play in transition. He had a couple times where he scored in transition, and 2 plays later he slowed it down, went mid-pick and roll, and made the right play. I think the growth of him, even if he scores 6 or 8 in a row and he gets into the paint, it's a pass on the next one. So, he's grown as a player, and it's helped us, and, he's playing big stretches for us, so it's important.
Similar line for game 2 with Boston 12.5, 13-point favorites over Cleveland coming up later this week. Now, also later this week, we're going to finally get to game 3 of Denver and Minnesota. The good news for the Nuggets, even though they're down 0-2 going to Minnesota, is Jamal Murray will be able to play in the game. He was not issued a suspension, but was fined $100,000 for tossing a heating pad in the direction of an official during the loss to the Timberwolves. It happened with 4 minutes and 41 seconds in the second quarter. And naturally, this is not something that you can do and generally avoid a fine. So he got fined $100,000. And by the way, he's been really, really rough. Game 2, 8 points, 3 for 18 shooting. I guess if I was in his spot, I would throw something too. Just not at the referees, no doubt. All right, bad news for the Knicks. Mitchell Robinson going to miss the rest of the playoffs. He's been ruled out 6 to 8 weeks with a stress injury to his left ankle. Imaging confirmed the injury after playing just 12 minutes in Game 1 against the Indiana Pacers. He's had this issue before in December with the Knicks hosting the Pacers tonight. No Mitchell Robinson for now. I would guess for the next round, and who knows, as the NBA Finals, if they were to get that far, would happen in June. Meanwhile, a Defensive Player of the Year award for the new Papa, Rudy Gobert. He wins it again. His 4th Defensive Player of the Year award, tying an NBA record. He won in 2018, 2019, and 2021 with the Utah Jazz, and now joins Hall of Fame centers Dikembe Mutombo and Ben Wallace as the only 4-time winners. Victor Wembanyama, who was the Rookie of the Year, finished second in the voting to Rudy Gobert. Also, congratulations to Candace Parker, recently retired from the WNBA. She's been named the new president of Adidas Women's Basketball 10 days after announcing her retirement. She was the first woman to receive a signature shoe with Adidas back in 2010. All right, for the first time ever, a betting company is a key sponsor for one of the majors in golf, and this one is the upcoming PGA Championship. They have inked a deal with ESPN Bet. They've been officially named a sponsor. The partnership is throughout 2026. It's the PGA of America and, of course, Penn Entertainment. Under the agreement, ESPN Bet is now the official sports betting sponsor of the championship through 2026. In addition, late word this morning, Ryan Garcia's win over Devin Haney was met with a lot of skepticism once he tested positive for a PED. But on Wednesday, veteran boxing reporter Dan Rafael reported this morning he has been cleared of a potential positive drug test for a metabolite which derives from a banned substance called nandrolone. Never heard of any of this stuff, but naturally those test results have confirmed to be negative. So it looks like Garcia will end up keeping his victory. In Major League Baseball, one of the hottest teams going right now has got to be the Philadelphia Phillies. Speaking of new dads, Bryce Harper had a baby less than a week ago. What has he done? He's hit a home run in every game since. 3 games in a row. The Phillies have the best record in baseball. He had a grand slam, and the Phillies have won 7 straight games. The Blue Jays are falling apart completely, and the Phillies are headed the other way. Meanwhile, Wilson Contreras last night, in case you missed this, was behind home plate. JD Martinez was swinging the bat. His backswing cracked Wilson Contreras in the left arm, and my goodness, they reported this morning that it is fractured. He's going to miss months of time. He was placed on the injured list today, arguably the best hitter on the Cardinals this season. Gavin Lux is back with the Los Angeles Dodgers, of course, after missing all of last season. He hit a home run for the first time since 2022 last night off the Miami Marlins starter Edward Cabrera, as the Dodgers have taken the first 2 games of the series. They'll play the 3rd game today. 4 early afternoon baseball games today, including Angels and Pirates. They start at 12:30 Eastern after our show. Blue Jays and Phillies, 1 o'clock Eastern. Tigers, Guardians at 1. And Mets Cardinals at 1:15 Eastern. The schedules for the National Football League's upcoming season in 2024 going to be released next week. The date that we're looking at is May 15th. We'll cover it for you next week here on the show. More trouble for Rashee Rice. He's now a suspect in an alleged assault that injured a man in a Dallas nightclub earlier this week. Of course, he was in an accident in Dallas as well with a speeding or driving issue. Rice has had all kinds of offseason issues, unfortunately for him, and could potentially be already looking at a suspension before this alleged incident. Tyler Boyd, former wide receiver of the Cincinnati Bengals, has a new home. He's signed with the Tennessee Titans. It's a 1-year deal, $4.5 billion. National Hockey League held its lottery last night. Congrats to the San Jose Sharks. They own the #1 pick in the upcoming NHL draft.